Was this just a situation where, as much as you guys were able to get to the net, you got beat again by a goalie who was just a little bit better than you guys were?
I mean, you could say what you want about the goal that was waved off. Probably, maybe should have counted. So there's another one right there. And then, I mean, we had a ton of chances in the second that just, we were swarming their end, and they didn't have an answer for us, and we just couldn't beat them. I mean, we got the tip goal, but kind of seemed like a lot of one and done, especially in the first and the third. The second, we really just sustained some momentum, but he played well, and they played simple, and they didn't make a lot of plays, but they didn't have to. They just got the puck out and they chipped it out, and that was the difference in the game. We couldn't sustain enough there.
Kind of the end of the game where you need a regulation win. You kind of expect that Washington's going to play that kind of game where they didn't really take any chances.
Yeah, I mean, we knew going into the third that we were tied, but we were down, right? We had to win in regulation, and so we knew that, and we were trying to play as desperate as we could. And I think the message for us was, don't be surprised by their desperation, but they should be surprised by ours. I mean, they had a chance where, if they lost, they still had a chance, right? So we had to win and win in regulation. So, it's disappointing, and but I got to give credit to the guys. I mean, I was only here since the deadline, and the way that they battled all season long, I think a lot of people were proved wrong, and maybe themselves too. So they should be really proud. It's a young group that no one really gave a chance to. So to be right there at Game 82 is a testament to the staff, the players, and the leadership by Danny and Dan and Keith. So it was a pleasure for me to be a part of it at the deadline, and I think you could look around the whole room and say everyone could look in the mirror after Game 82 and say they gave it their all. So the guys should be really proud.
You spoke to a minute ago about just the inability to get that key goal. I guess aside from the Rangers game last week, that was kind of a problem the last few weeks. Was it just a matter of kind of everybody going cold at the wrong time, or was there something that could have been done?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You can never really put your finger on it. It's tough to score in this league, and the easy thing to say is get traffic and get bodies and pucks, and this time of year especially, it's not usually the pretty goals that are the difference. So we couldn't get enough of those, it seemed like, over the course of the stretch of the last 10 games, but I mean, it's not for a lack of effort. I mean, I know the guys cared and busted their ass all season long. So if you can look in the mirror and say you gave an honest effort, I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, it stings because we had a chance at it, but the guys should be proud. And for me, it's hard at the end of my career. You never know how long you'll play, so bitter pill to swallow, missing the playoffs. But I really enjoyed these guys and the group and the organization. It was one of the highlights of my professional career was playing in Philly. I really enjoyed it.
Erik, I don't know what your future plans are, but being in that room, do you think that team, whether you're with them or not, has a bright future?
No doubt. I mean, whether I'm here or not, I really will cheer for those guys. Really enjoyed the locker room, one of the best I've been in my career, and I'm not just saying that to blow smoke. I really enjoyed all those guys and the staff, and living in Philly, just everything. And the people are so nice. I was welcomed with open arms. I really care about those guys, and it was a lot of fun for me. And while our goal wasn't met, I can pull some highlights and friendships from this where it'll be a highlight of my career, just being in Philly and playing for the Flyers.
You mentioned this as a young group. You played a lot of games in this league. You guys obviously knew coming into the last three, you had to win all three of them. Is that the kind John's mentioned a lot, that these meaningful games are going to be a future building block? You've been playing in playoff games basically your whole career. For that young group, was that kind of what Tortorella's message has been, that you guys are trying to find those games, especially this late in the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great for those young guys. It's been talked about, but tonight was Game 7. I mean, no doubt about it. And the last few games were playoff games as well. And, I remember my first few playoff games being pretty nervous and pretty tight. And to go through experiences like that as a young player only kind of makes the trajectory of your career a little bit better because you get used to those games at a younger age. And maybe my first playoff series was 24, so not super young, but still an established player. So, and I just, coming into a game like tonight, there was no nerves because I've seen it all. And then I think if you have players on this team that haven't seen something like this and they go through it like they did, it's going to help them in the long run. I mean, those nerves will be a lot lower, and you know what to expect in tight games like this. So it's great for those guys. I mean, while it wasn't officially a playoff game, these stretch of games were huge for their development.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you.